Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I am Lesa Smith and I am teaching about cooking with essential oils. Today we're going to talk about all kinds of ideas with cooking with essential oils. You all, if you're listening to this video, you've probably attended a class or several classes where we talked about the benefits of oils to your health. And today I'm going to be talking about essential oils and cooking. I have shared my screen here. I have a PowerPoint that I'll be going through, and I promise it won't take you very long to get through this video. I hope that you will learn something, and I hope that you will experiment with essential oils. So I talked about the benefits of essential oils. We've used them for repelling insects and to beautify the hair and skin and contributing to relaxing massage, perhaps. But in addition to these ways of using your oils, you also might use them in cooking. And so let's get started. Why cook with essential oils? I'm going to talk about these 4 items: adding flavor, internal use benefits, safe and natural ingredients, and convenience of using oils in your cooking. So adding flavor, essential oils are very potent. You may have already experienced that some of them are very potent and it causes your skin to be sensitive to them, and you would dilute them. Only 1 drop can provide lots of flavor. So we will talk about today the 5 different categories of essential oil cooking: citrus, herb, mint, floral, and spice oils. So what are the internal use benefits? Depending on what you're cooking, which oils you're using, when you take oils internally, you can experience the benefits for many body systems: antioxidant support, digestive support. For example, if you're using peppermint in something, internal cleansing, and probably endless others that I haven't mentioned. So using essential oils when cooking provides a unique way and experience to just another way to experience the oils. So safe and natural ingredients. Essential oils can easily be used substituting for dry herbs, citrus zest, seasonings during the cooking process. The great thing about using essential oil as a flavoring agent is that you can know that what you're putting in your food is safe. It's not a chemical. It hasn't had a lot of additives put in it for preservatives. That it's all natural. And because they come from natural sources, they provide a safe way to add unique flavors to your dishes. It's important to note, though, that not all essential oils are the same. I recommend that you use doTERRA essential oils because they are carefully harvested and put through rigorous testing processes to make sure the oils don't contain contaminants or harmful substances. Not all essential oil companies do this, so the oil might not be as pure. So when cooking with essential oils, I suggest that you use therapeutic grade essential oils like doTERRA that have been thoroughly tested for safety. And finally, convenience. How many of you have been midway through a recipe and there is something that you don't have? Like maybe you had 3 lemons and you needed 4. With essential oils in your kitchen, the cooking oils, you will never be without a fresh herbal taste or a fresh citrus zest. So that's very convenient. Or maybe you're on the way home from work and you know you need to stop by Kroger and get some rosemary, but you got all the way home because you were on autopilot and you never stopped. So with rosemary in your arsenal, you will never be without a fresh herb. So also think about herbs in season. Some things are seasonal, like I don't have strawberry oil, but as we all know, strawberries are seasonal. Pretty much in Houston, you can get them any time of the year, but there may be some herbs that are seasonal and hard to find. And so if you have essential oils, you have them year round because essential oils don't go bad in the bottle. In fact, as you know, doTERRA tests each bottle for purity. There's a number on the bottom that you can go online and see exactly what's in that bottle. So moving on, is cooking with essential oils safe? Well, as I already mentioned, it is safe to use doTERRA essential oils because they are put through rigorous testing, like I said, to make sure that they are pure and there is nothing in that bottle except the essential oil itself. There is, my bullet points here are historical use. Essential oils are a part of our diet. High quality, well-tested essential oils are safe to consume. Essential oils that should not be used internally are listed here. So, historical use. Historically, essential oils have been used for centuries. Is it really safe to put it in your food? Well, if you're new to essential oils, you might think this is weird, but it might seem strange, but it is just another way to enjoy your oils. You can reap the benefits from them by putting them in your food. Most recently, we had Easter, and if you know the Easter story, the three ladies went to prepare Jesus' body for burial, and guess what? They had essential oils with them. Some Bible translations say spices, some specifically say oils. I'm not sure I know which oils they were, but they went into town to buy the oils, and so for at least 2,000 years they've been using oils. There are other mentions in the Bible about essential oils, which is a whole nother lesson, by the way. Essential oils are already part of our diet. As you know, the body gets used to things. So since essential oils are plants, seeds, fruits, roots, and other natural sources, many are likely to already be in your diet. So when you consume them, your body already knows what to do. It's equipped to process what it knows. We'll talk about later how much essential oil to use in the cooking process to be using a safe level. But for now, just know that your body is able to process them because it's not a foreign chemical. High quality, well-tested essential oils are safe to consume. I mentioned this before that that doTERRA essential oils are safe to use in cooking because they've been carefully monitored for every step of the process through and put through rigorous testing to make sure there's no contaminants or harmful substances in the oil. So because not all essential oil companies do this, you want to be careful which essential oils that you use in cooking. Of course, I recommend doTERRA because I know those are safe. Not all essential oils are safe to consume. Essential oils that should not be consumed internally are listed here. And arbor cedarwood, cypress, Douglas fir, eucalyptus, spikenard, I don't know how you say that. Actually, I don't know how you say arborvitae either, but also white fir, wintergreen. These are some of the oils that you shouldn't use. There may be others, but this is just a list of right off the top of my head that I've included. And much like you wouldn't eat a pine tree, you're not going to eat pine oil. You wouldn't eat a wintergreen tree, so you really wouldn't consume that oil internally. Okay, moving right along. Things to remember. Adding essential oils is a perfect way to add more flavor to your dish or to put a twist on an old favorite. How you use essential oils in your cooking will depend on your personal flavor preferences, what kind of food you're making, what essential oil you're using. How is it, however, it is still extremely easy to use essential oils to transform any dessert, entree, meat, beverage into something special. So we'll talk about a few of the practices of cooking with essential oils, like how to use oils when using heat, what cookware, and some measuring tips. Essential oils cooking with heat. So because of their chemical makeup, essential oils will evaporate when they're exposed to heat. Many worry that adding essential oils to a recipe that will be exposed to heat can lessen the flavor of it. The less heat that the essential oil is exposed to, the more flavor there will be. So if you're cooking with heat, try to add the essential oil at the end of the, towards the end of the cooking, so it's exposed the least amount of time. If you are required, if it's in a, let's just say it's in a sauce, and then the sauce goes into a casserole, if it's going to be exposed to heat a long time, you will probably want to use a little more oil than you would in a recipe where it's not exposed to heat, so that you're sure that you maintain some of the flavor eventually. So cookware. Avoid using plastic cookware, as essential oils can potentially ruin certain kinds of plastic. I have a measuring spoon that if you took my live class, I would pass it around so you could see it. You really can't see from my tiny little computer camera, but I had a plastic measuring spoon that I stirred something that I had lemon in, and the lemon ate the plastic up. And there are some plastics that are safe, like, to the best of my knowledge and research, it's okay to use silicone with citrus essential oils. And you can do some more research yourself on Google. It has to do with a high grade, actually, silicone is not really plastic. It is made of silica, which is basically sand. So it's very tight, non-porous, and the citrus oils don't attack it. I actually used silicone to make chocolates, which had wild orange in them, and it was fine. It did not attack my silicone chocolate molds. So you will want to use glass, ceramic, or stainless, and that includes your mixing tools, not just the containers that the dish is in, but your, if you have measuring spoons or stirring spoons, just make sure that you use glass, ceramic, or stainless. Okay. Measurements. Perhaps the trickiest part of cooking with essential oils is knowing how much, and already I've said that a lot. Well, how much essential oil do I use? Well, I hate to tell you this, but it is a lot about trial and error. I have messed up a dish before because oregano is very powerful. You can see on my slide here, I have some potent essential oils, which are basil, cassia, cinnamon, clove, cumin, and oregano, also thyme. So how much do you know how to add? What I recommend, especially with these particular oils, is something we call the toothpick method. You basically take a toothpick, as you can see in this picture, and you jam it into the little hole in the top of the cap, and flip it over really quick, just to get the toothpick, a little, not even a dot, not even a drop on the toothpick. And you will take that toothpick and kind of stir it. Let's say you're making a spaghetti sauce and you want to add oregano. You would take your oregano bottle, put the toothpick in it, tip it real quick, take the toothpick down into the red sauce and stir it. And you will want to do this towards the end of the red sauce. Let's say you started with tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, whatever, and added all your other, onions, garlic, whatever else you were going to add to it. Towards the end, You can add oregano, and you will want to, after you do this toothpick method, then take a taste of it, and usually it's good. But if you feel like you need some more, I don't recommend putting a drop. I recommend going in with a new, fresh, clean toothpick and, you know, stir it in there again. And what you may learn is, for whatever size pot of spaghetti sauce you're making, you may learn that it is okay to drop one drop in there and not use the toothpick method eventually. But like I said, it's trial and error. Another hazard, I don't know if you've experienced this, but when you tip over your bottle of essential oil, not always one drop comes out. Sometimes some oils pour faster than others, and you will get a bloop, bloop, you know, 2, maybe even 3 drops. Some of the thicker oils are more easily controlled. So I caution you not to, you know, not to measure your oils over your saucepan. You know, take a spoon or something. If you're going to go with the I'm using 1 drop, take a spoon off to the side and drop 1 drop into a spoon, just to make sure that's all you're getting, and, you know, and stir that into your dish. So, let's see. Flavor guide for cooking with essential oils. We talked about the toothpick method. There is 5 categories of oils that we cook with: citrus, spices, herbs, florals, and mints. So I'm going to talk about these. It can be overwhelming to determine which oils to add to your recipes because there's so many different types. I think I watched one video that said doTERRA had 26 essential oils, but then I saw turmeric, and I was like, that's not one of the 26 she listed. So there's really more than 26 oils that you could cook, consume, even though I wouldn't use turmeric. It's pretty powerful. Not my favorite oil, but it does have some really great health benefits. So let's talk about citrus. Common oils that are citrus include bergamot, grapefruit, lemon, lime, tangerine, and wild orange. Citrus oils can provide a bright, sweet, tangy, or refreshing flavor to your foods or your beverages. Beverages are probably the place I use citrus oils the most. They make a lovely addition to beverages. While you want an extra boost of flavor to your water, you know, we're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. And sometimes that's hard, but you might want to try lemon, or adding some grapefruit, or wild orange is really great because that'll give you a lot of energy to get you through your day. Because of their fresh, tangy flavor, citrus oils are perfect also for yogurt dip or salsa. Citrus oils can be used to replace a zest in any recipe, like lime zest or lemon zest, orange zest. So, so really for citrus, I do have one yogurt recipe that I use for a fruit dip that has wild orange in it. That's very tasty. But other than that, I mostly put my citrus in my water. Spices. To add some spice to your meal, you can use essential oils like black pepper, cassia, cinnamon, coriander, ginger, and fennel. These oils tend to provide an herbal, fresh, warm, a sharp flavor to whatever you're cooking. They can work for both sweet and savory dishes, and are especially popular for flavoring meat and vegetables. In this category, spices are good on vegetables, meat marinades, sweet and savory dishes. I probably don't really ever use essential oils when I'm roasting vegetables. I have used, you know, oregano in like my savory pasta sauce. And as far as a meat marinade, ginger. If you're doing something that is Asian, you cannot go wrong with 1 drop of ginger in with some soy sauce. It's a really nice Asian sort of bang. So let's talk about the herbs. Oils like basil, cilantro, marjoram, oregano, rosemary, or thyme are extremely popular for cooking because they not only be used in your favorite Italian dishes, meats, breads, pastas, or soups, but they can easily be substituted for recipes that call for dry or fresh herbs. I use a lot of rosemary and thyme in our cooking. We actually grill steaks with thyme on them. Just this week, I had a lamb in the crock pot with pasta sauce, and I threw 3 sprigs of rosemary in there. But had I not had the rosemary, I actually grow rosemary in my backyard. Had I not had that, I would have dropped 1 drop of rosemary in that crock pot, and that would have been good. So also the herbs are good for bread dips. If you mix a little balsamic vinegar and some olive oil or your favorite oil and just a drop of any of those herbal essential oils, it makes a great bread dipping dish. Okay, and the florals. Florals are used less frequently in cooking. Like, I don't even have an example for you, but they provide a sweet, light flavor to desserts, and probably because I don't, as a diabetic, I don't really make desserts, maybe for special occasions or baked goods. But they can help soften citrus flavors in certain recipes. So the florals would be like lavender and geranium. I don't know if you ever think about eating, lavender or geranium, but you can. They're very popular for teas. You can make teas, and that's as simple as taking a cup of water for the microwave. If you want a hot lavender tea, put a cup of water in the microwave, get it, to drinking temperature to your satisfaction, and just put a drop of lavender in there, or geranium, I have put cinnamon in water, and it doesn't look like tea, but it tastes like a great tea. And finally, we have the mint category, which is good for beverages, desserts, salads, certain meats. The cool, minty, refreshing flavor of mint oils makes them useful for a number of foods and beverages. Mint flavors go well with certain kinds of meat, like lamb. They can brighten up salads. You can also use mints in your tea. I drink peppermint tea sometimes, mostly in the winter. It's popular in desserts. I make for parties sometimes. I have these little silicone chocolate molds, and I make chocolates, and sometimes I use peppermint with melted chocolates, or I buy that vanilla candy coating bark. You can pretty much get it at any grocery store, or even the hobby shops have it in the cake decorating department. All you do is melt it and put a couple of drops of maybe wild orange or peppermint in there, and it makes a pretty little treat. You can make gifts with it too to give away. You can put it in cookies. I have put peppermint in brownies before. So and there's also some unlimited number of recipes available to you on the internet, so you don't have to always do a makeover of your recipe book collection. There's anytime a recipe calls for a citrus, a spice, an herb, a floral, or a mint, you can think about using your essential oils. So now I will share with you some essential oil recipes. Now that you have a better idea of what kind of oils go with best with certain foods and drinks, here's a few recipes to start you off. The recipes are pretty simple and provide a wonderful way to add flavor to your foods. So, beverages. Here, it's extremely easy to add essential oils to your beverages when you want a little extra flavor. If you're trying to stay away from soda, especially, or if you crave sugary drinks, adding essential oils to your water is the perfect way to get away from sugar. Essential oils make a great addition to tea. Bergamot, cinnamon, fennel, lemon, peppermint and Roman chamomile are some of the best oils to add to your tea. When you want a powerful natural flavor for your tea, essential oils provide a quick way to get your flavor that you want. In addition to water and tea, essential oils can be added virtually to any beverage. Essential oils can easily be added to smoothies, hot cocoa, lemonade, slushies. The list goes on and on. Again, if you're adding citrus oils, though, and your blender is a bullet, made out of plastic, you want to be careful with that. Make sure you're using a blender that's a glass, a glass container. So here's a sample recipe of green pear. It's a ginger pear green smoothie, and the recipe is a heaping cup of spinach, a heaping cup of diced frozen pears, a half a cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, a tablespoon of almond butter, a cup of unsweetened almond milk or milk of choice, a teaspoon of raw honey, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and just 1 drop of ginger essential oil. So you put all the ingredients in a blender and you blend it until creamy and smooth. And I personally am not a fan of green smoothies, but I may get up the courage to try this one day. Sounds like a deal. Okay. Because essential oils provide such a powerful flavor, they're extremely useful for marinating meat and vegetables. This slide shows some of the best essential oils for marinades. You can easily make your own essential oil marinade by choosing an oil that pairs well with the item that you're marinating, and then add it to the marinating mixture. Remember that you can also use essential oils in place of dry seasonings. So consider using a few drops of essential oils in recipes that call for dry herbs or seasoning. Here is a list of some of those oils: basil, black pepper. I ran out of black pepper and I have pink pepper, so those can interchange back and forth. Cardamom, I've never tried. I don't have cardamom in my arsenal. Cilantro is very, how can I say, very refreshing, very yummy in salsas. Summer when the tomatoes are plentiful. Cilantro and cumin. I am not aware that doTERRA actually has cumin oil. I don't have any, and I've not really shopped for it, but maybe it's coming. Fennel, I do have. Fennel's actually good for digestive support. Sometimes if you overeat, I believe Digest Zen actually has fennel in it, which is the magic kicker. Ginger, lemon, lime, marjoram. Marjoram is good if you have muscular aches and pains. I actually take marjoram with frankincense internal every day to manage my inflammation issues, arthritic sort of aches and pains. Oregano, rosemary, thyme, and wild orange. So all of those are good in marinades. So think about marinades that you've made before and when you might have used a fresh herb or a spice that may have been one of these spices, and try next time to substitute it with your essential oil. Baked goods. According to us, adding essential oils to your favorite cake, cook, brownie recipe, scones, bread, or cupcake recipe is a fun way to give a tried and true recipe some extra flavor. So remember, when you add essential oils to a batter or a dough, much of the flavor will be cooked out when the mixture is exposed to heat. Remember earlier I was saying that it's best to add it at the end of the heat, process, if you can, as in making a sauce on the stovetop. But when you're baking things, obviously, it's going to go in the raw stage and be exposed to the heat throughout. So it's okay to add a little extra when you're using essential oils for baked goods, just so you can ensure that you'll maintain some of the flavor from the oil. So here's a healthy, delicious recipe for cinnamon apple cake that uses cinnamon oil. Cinnamon is one of our strong hot oils, so you will want to be careful And definitely try this one with the 2-pet method. This recipe calls for flour, baking powder, raw sugar, olive oil, orange juice, walnuts, apples, ground cinnamon, and only 1 drop of cinnamon bark. Now this is a case where you see in a recipe, this calls for a 1/2 cup of orange juice. I would not substitute wild orange essential oil for that, because in this recipe, you know, baking is all about science. And this recipe probably needs that 1/2 cup of liquid. So this is not where I would substitute an essential oil. Okay, then you preheat the oven to 350, you put all that in a bowl, and you add the flour and the baking powder, and you mix it. Fold in the apples and walnuts, pour it in a greased baking dish, bake 45 minutes, and boom, you're done. Next, we have soups, salsas, dips, and sauce. So do you have a favorite soup recipe that might need a facelift? Or maybe you have a salsa recipe that you could use a little extra kick, maybe a little more refreshing, fresh herbal taste. It's very easy to add essential oils to your soup recipes, homemade salsas. If you're attending my live class, I actually have some salsa a salsa recipe that I have made in the past, and it makes a lot. It makes like 2 quarts. So I'm still going through some of it that I made last time. But anyway, I will try to attach that information to the so that you can upload it later. So here's a simple recipe for an oregano, Italian oregano bread dip. It's very simple. It's just in a little dish, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, about 1 to 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. For me, it would be 3. Love balsamic vinegar, especially an 18-year-old aged. If you're local in Houston, there's a store it's an olive oil store down in the Heights that I like to frequent, and I buy. It's expensive, but 18-year-old balsamic vinegar, it's worth it. A 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, and 1 to 3 drops of oregano essential oil. In this recipe, the Italian seasoning, I feel like it's about texture up against your other liquids for bread dipping. You certainly are welcome to experiment with, hey, instead of Italian seasoning, maybe I just want to add some basil and some thyme in addition to my oregano essential oil. But I think that in this recipe, it's about texture and visual. It makes it visually appealing to see the spices in it. What is what I'm trying to say. So you just place those in a large bowl and you mix it, and just get after it with your bread. Okay. Salads, strawberry almond salad and a raspberry lime vinaigrette salad here. Whether you're having a traditional green salad or your own salad dressing, or chicken salad or potato salad, pasta salads, there's other variations of salads that essential oils can help enhance with natural flavors. It can provide a unique boost of flavor to your plain recipe. This recipe for strawberry almond salad with raspberry lime vinaigrette uses the lime essential oil to put in an unexpected twist on a simple and delicious salad. Lime essential oil is very refreshing. That's another oil that's fun to drink with your water. Seasonings. While essential oils can be used to substitute dry seasonings and ingredients, they also make a powerful addition to dry seasoning ingredients and dry rubs. You can add a drop of oil to dry seasonings and add a little bit of variety to your seasoning. Here is a Italian seasoning blend that you actually take garlic salt, and I don't believe at doTERRA we have garlic oil. That's not one of the oils they harvest as an essential oil. But anyway, so you would take garlic salt and you put 1 drop of basil, thyme, marjoram, oregano, or rosemary. Probably not all of those. You pick one, okay, just to be clear. And stir it around, and you can actually flavor the salt. And then you can add that to your recipes. You can actually make essential oil flavored sugar. This is really good in hot beverages. You take 2 tablespoons of sugar, and you would add 1 to 3 drops of wild orange, tangerine, lemon, grapefruit, or lime, or 1 toothpick of cassia or cinnamon. Again, with the hot oils, or as you're experimenting, always start with the toothpick first. I don't know if I said this earlier, or maybe I haven't said it yet, but you can always add essential oils. It's very difficult to take them away, if those taste gets too powerful. Okay, there is doTERRA has a blog. If you would go into your doTERRA account, and up in the top there is some resources for you. It says, I forgot what it says, members, advocates, something. You can find other recipes for using essential oils in your cooking. There's also this ebook, Cooking with Essential Oils. It's kind of fun. The address for that is www.doterra.com/us/ebooks-with-essential-oils. So take a look at that. There under your resources in your account, there are other ebooks in addition to this one. There are also essential oils. Excuse me just a minute while I grab my book. There are lots of recipes. If you have this book, mine is really old, and as you can see, I use it a lot, and it's tabbed on the side. There are recipes in the back of this book. I know you've probably used this book to look up, what do I do for a headache, or what do I do for my son's earache, but you may not have gone all the way to the back where there are recipes for cooking. There it is, tips for cooking. And there's some fun recipes for cooking in here. It also explains a little bit about what I've talked about today, such as the toothpick method. And it has some guidelines for substituting oils. There's some recipes for beverages in here, and some breads, some herb crackers even. So lots of fun recipes in here. There's no need to ever be bored with what you're eating, whether you're on a strict low-carb diet, or you're a member of Weight Watchers, or ketoing it, or whatever your eating lifestyle is. You can always incorporate essential oils into it. The book also divides up. It's kind of fun. It's got breakfast. There's baked oatmeal in here. Let's see, what do they use in the baked oatmeal? A drop of cinnamon or protective blend. Have you ever thought about using On Guard in your cooking? Well, you can. There's desserts in here. So anyway, pages and pages. No need to ever get bored cooking. What else? I hope you enjoyed learning about cooking with essential oils. I hope you'll experiment with it. I'm not a pro. I don't know everything about it, but I do know that I love to cook. Cooking is my spiritual gift. Everybody has one. Find yours. So thank you, and good luck with your cooking adventures with Cooking with Essential Oils.